Lots of folks out there do a lot of work to the outside of their vehicles to make them look better and to perform better. But what about on the inside of the vehicle where you spend the most time? Well, for the price of a good set of wheels and tires, you could do some pretty cool stuff to the inside of your seats to make them personalized and to make them a little more comfortable. And in this video, I'm going to meet up with the folks at Katzkin and we're going to design a new interior for this Jeep. Then we're going to head up there and we're going to look and see how it's made at their facility. And then I'll show you how easy it is to get these installed. This is going to be pretty cool. I'm super excited about this. Plus, we just did the seats in the silver Wrangler, so I'll show you those at the end of the video. This is going to be super cool. I can't wait to get these done. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad, and a couple months ago, my good buddy Marco and I got to go to the Jeep concept reveal where they had a bunch of cool concept vehicles out there and they all had custom interiors, and we were super impressed with the designs and the quality of them. Here, check out what we saw.
And then these seats.
The seats are like super soft.
So what they're saying is these are Mopar Katzkin seats. So you can go to the dealership and get custom colors and custom stitching. This is blue stitching, but this, dude, the leather is noticeably different.
It's super comfortable.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Some of those interiors were really cool, and that material was so nice. And so after that event, I reached out to the folks at Katzkin to find out what some of the possibilities and options were for doing a custom interior on my Jeeps. And so last week, the installer came out and did the silver Jeep, which I'll show you here at the end of the video. But today, Katzkin has invited us to head up to their facility. We're going to design a new interior. We're going to show you how they're made, and we're going to show you how easy it is to install them. This is going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to do a little custom touch on this Jeep. All right, let's head up there. Well, I've traveled a few hours north and I've arrived here to Montebello, California to the Katzkin facility where they make hundreds and hundreds of custom interiors. This is pretty cool. Let's go back behind this wall because there's a lot going on here to see how they make these interiors. Katzkin is a massive facility where there is a huge team of interior professionals working hard to produce hundreds of custom interiors that leave here every day. The leather section is where the process of making these seats come together all begins. It starts with each hide of leather being meticulously inspected and marked for imperfections. This was probably one of my favorite areas just because of the aroma alone. Now, this section of the Katzkin warehouse is where all the leather hides come in, and they have 65 different colors of leather to choose from. It's really cool. But what I love is you walk in here and you just get that aroma of that leather smell. But what I really found out was that's not how cowhides smell. It's actually the tanning chemicals that give you that cool smell. But I don't care. It smells great in here, and there are so many cool colors to choose from. Once the leather and vinyl for a specific interior are identified, they are sent through a cutting machine that recognizes the imperfection marks that were made by the leather inspectors. Then, using some computerized precision, it cuts out patterns around those marks, making use of as much leather hide as possible. Then, all the newly cut pattern pieces of material are removed, sorted, and if the interior will have any custom embroidery, it makes a quick stop at the embroidery machine. If the design calls for seat perforations, there is a machine that's sole purpose is to punch hundreds of holes in the material, leaving you with a bucket load of these tiny leather circles. I honestly had a blast poking my nose and my camera around to see how all this comes together. I've always loved seeing how things are made. There are a lot of machines and people that play an important part in making each one of these sets of seats. And on the far side of the facility is where things start to really come together. There is an army of professionals sewing all the many pieces together. And as I walked around, it was interesting to see the dozens of combinations of leather and vinyl and thread that were all being wheeled together and will soon be finding a home in a happy customer's vehicle. Once the seats were finished, they were meticulously inspected, packaged up, and ready to ship out. They don't waste any time knocking these kits out. All right, let's take a couple minutes and sit down with one of the designers and get some pointers for putting a kit together. All right, everyone, we are up here in the design area, and this is Rami, the design manager. Man, thank you so much for an opportunity to talk to you on camera. This is so cool what's going on. But before we get into the design of the seats and how you kind of go about doing that, there's a couple questions I want to ask about choosing leather seats, because I think there's a lot of questions that the viewers have. So, vinyl and leather. How do you decide? Should I go all leather, all vinyl? Should I mix it? What are some of the things to think about?
Well, most of leather interiors now, or companies that do make leather interiors, they're called leather trimmed. So nobody actually offers that much leather as a full leather seat. There's always small sections of your seat that actually has leather, and the rest of it is actually vinyl. Now a lot of companies are offering full vinyl interiors for outdoors kind of experience, where you don't have to worry about the leather being damaged if it gets rained on or you go on a muddy trail or something, and that kind of defeats the purpose of having too fancy of a leather.
Okay.
In a way.
Leather's pretty durable though, right? So I mean, even in an open air Jeep, it should hold up just fine?
Leather is actually very durable. It's definitely a lot more durable than cloth, I would say. I would compare it almost equally as vinyl.
Okay.
And it becomes almost to a point where it's just what people prefer in a way.
Yeah, but there is some cost savings with doing more vinyl than on all leather.
Definitely. I mean, vinyl will always be cheaper than leather.
Yeah.
And the reasons we also do more kind of mix of a vinyl and leather, because we just don't have enough cows on the face of the earth
right.
to have enough leather for everybody.
Gotcha.
So there has to be something to give.
Yeah. Now it's really cool that you can go online and kind of just goof around and design your own seats. But you are a designer. This is what you do for a living. What are some things to kind of think about and maybe even avoid when you're designing your own seat?
Well, the first thing I always tell the customer is, number one, look what color your interior is already. So if you have a black interior or a beige or gray, try to stick with that nature. If you put like a beige interior and you throw like this random red interior and the exterior of the car is white, it's gonna look a little clashy. Yeah. And number two, I always also tell them to watch what your exterior is doing. A lot of cars do offer a black interior. The standard three colors, almost I would say, for the industry are the black, gray, and beige.
Yeah.
And then we go with the exterior color. So a lot of times I like to bring in some of that exterior into the interior, and then also work with what the interior already offers, so that we can make the whole interior and the exterior of the car cohesive together.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of fun trying to come up with a design for the Jeep. You sent me probably 7 or 8 different designs. Yeah. The one we came up with, can you talk a little bit about the characters of that?
Sure. We went through a couple actually like kind of tan interiors, because you were mentioning the heat with the hot, weather and stuff like that. You don't want black interior where you sit on it. But at the same time, the interior of your Jeep was all black, and we kind of played around with the exterior of your Jeep as well, which was red. So we ended up kind of going back with this red and black interior, and we played with those options within the seat after that to kind of create this kind of whole cohesive interior where it's exterior and interior matched together to make the whole car as a complete package. Yeah, well, I'm excited to show these guys what we came up with. You did a great job. I'm super excited. It's subtle, but you get a good close-up look at it, and it's definitely customized. So I really like it. I mean, sometimes we say in design, less is more.
Yep. I really enjoyed the process of designing the interior, and there are plenty of options available, so you're sure to find something that fits your style. Something else I found interesting during my time here is all these interiors are custom, and yet there is a procedure in place in this massive shop that allows for an assembly line style production. That's pretty unique. So what did you think, guys? That was pretty cool. I love seeing how things are made. It's just so interesting to see that all come together. Now, behind me, he is putting the seats together for the JL, which I'm super excited about. But before I show you those and take you back to the garage and show you how the JK turned out, I want to let you know that Katzkin has done something really cool. If you go online or call in and order a set of seats for your vehicle and you mention that TrailRecon sent you there, they will add a $100 donation to Team Rubicon, which is a nonprofit organization that I love supporting. They help veterans get with first responders and respond to disasters. It's a great organization, guys. So please, if you're going to order some of these seats, mention that TrailRecon sent you. That's a huge, huge thing. Thank you so much, Katzkin. All right, let's check out these seats, and then we'll head back to the garage. Removing your stock seat covers on a modern car is no easy task. There are lots of tabs, electrical connections, built-in airbags, and plenty of hog rings that have to be removed. I've done this before myself, and it is quite a bit of work. One thing that I noticed was the installer was using some steam for many of the plastic parts to help loosen them up. I never thought of that. That's a great idea. The colors I chose for my interior were in keeping with the Jeep's colors, red and black, but with some nice custom stitching and the added TrailRecon logo. I really like how these turned out. There is more leather than vinyl on these new seats. Before, just the inside panels are leather, but now the whole front face is leather, and you can really feel the difference. Okay, now that these are done, let's head back to the garage and I'll show you how both Jeep interiors turned out. Well, I hope you enjoyed checking out that facility. I had a ton of fun. I love seeing how things are made. Now, before I show you what the diesel interior looks like and the JK interior, I just want to answer one question that I had and I thought I would share with you, and that is I asked them, okay, so you have this vinyl and this leather blend on your seats. What's the best way to clean them? And you know what they said? Just some warm water with just a little bit of dish soap. They don't use any of those special leather conditioners and all that. They said the leather, the way they treat the leather, that those conditioners don't even soak into there and it can actually break them down. So I thought that was interesting. I've always been one of those guys that, every couple of months I'm in there, conditioning the leather. They said it actually doesn't do any good. So I found that very interesting. So just a little warm and soapy water. All right. So how about the diesel interior? Well, I love how it turned out. Now, I didn't want anything crazy over the top. I just wanted some subtle, nice design features. I think it looks really clean. It matches the Jeep perfectly. And the TrailRecon logo is just the coolest touch. I'm super happy with how that all turned out. Now, when it comes to the JK, I went through the whole process and called them, put my order in, and talked to the advisor on the phone about what I wanted to do. I got red leather seats, I got heating and cooling. They came out to my house in their vehicle. Everything was there that they needed, and they did the install in about 5 hours right here in my garage. That's pretty cool. You can do some interior stuff yourself if you want, but I think a lot of people like the convenience of just somebody coming out, swapping that interior, and then you are ready to go. Same day service. That was really great, and I love the red leather seats. Just straight red, nothing crazy, but I think it's a great contrast. Of course, red and silver for TrailRecon. I love it. I think it looks great. Still a lot more work left to do on the Wrangler, but we're getting there. It's coming along nice. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me and learning a little bit about how these Katzkin interiors are made and installed. I thought it was pretty cool. If you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Thanks for watching.